Now we're going to talk about Calicalis, the bearded orchids. There are 12 species of these, mostly from the temperate south and tropical north. The lips of these orchids have long hairs, giving rise to the common name. There you go. Calicalis species have proven difficult to maintain and are not recommended for cultivation. This is Calicalis cerulens.
Yeah, I guess. It's hard to say.
This orchid grows in the lowland coastal tea tree forests of northern Australia and southern Papua New Guinea, where it is hot and humid, and there is a reliable wet season in summer and autumn and dry season in winter and early spring. Its narrow leaf is up to 16 inches long. It's fleshy with 3 corners in cross section, so it's kind of triangular shaped. The slender inflorescence may be up to 32 inches tall and bears up to 12 flowers, each opening progressively that only 2 or 3 are open at one time. The flowers are about 4/5 of an inch. Flowering is from summer to fall. Calicalis robertsonii is our next one. There we go. That's a little better photo of a Calicalis. This species occurs on the southeast and southwest regions of Australia and in New Zealand. It grows in open forest from the sandy coastal regions to the mountains. The leaf is narrow, fleshy, 3-cornered, and up to 16 inches long. The inflorescence is up to 18 inches tall, bearing up to 9 1 1/4 inch wide flowers. These are a little bigger. These appear during winter and spring. Really interesting, the bearded orchids. Next we're going to talk about some Cryptostylis. This is a genus of about 20 terrestrial orchids ranging from the Malay Archipelago, New Zealand, with the majority growing along the east coast of Australia. They have proven difficult to grow without leaf mold from the forests where the plants originally grew. Cryptostylis erecta is the first one we'll look at. But aren't they beautiful? This species occurs on the east coast of Australia from the Tropic of Capricorn to Victoria. It grows in sandy or peaty soil in open forests or in coastal heathlands. The leaves are distinctive, up to 7 inches long and 1 1/4 inches across. The leaves are dark green above and purple below. The 18-inch inflorescence bears up to 12 flowers, each of which is about 1 1/4 inch long. The flowers appear during spring and summer. And apparently the mycorrhizal fungus that's in the eucalyptus and tea tree forests is not the same mycorrhizal fungus that we have in our oak and pine forests. Cryptostylis subulata is the next species we'll look at. This is widespread in Australia, from North Queensland along the east coast to Tasmania and west to South Australia. It usually grows in swamp and stream margins, but may also grow in moist situations in open forests. The leaves are up to 6 inches long and one. What's that?
Sort of looks like a dragon.
Yeah, it does, but they're just not a real big dragon. The leaves are up to 6 inches long and 1 1/4 inches across. The inflorescence is up to 32 inches tall and bears up to 20 flowers, each about 1 inch tall. Little bitty dragon.
Wow.
Yeah, that's neat. Could you imagine 20 flowers of that? And I doubt that they all open at the same time. It's probably successively, but that's really... All right. Caladinas, another terrestrial genus we're going to talk about. This genus contains about 150 species. All are Australian but one. They are generally difficult to grow and require a mix containing eucalyptus leaf litter and coarse sand. The first one we'll talk about is Caladinia colorata. Pink fingers is a common name for this in Australia. This species from southern Australia grows along the Murray River region and the Mount Lofty ranges. It grows in woodlands where there is a good winter rainfall. The leaf is lanceolate, so it is narrow and tapering toward the end. It is hairy and up to 4 inches long. The inflorescence is up to 2 inches tall and bears a single flower about 2 inches across. So this is not on a long inflorescence that comes right out of the leaf of the plant. Flowering occurs during spring. This species is now highly endangered due to overcollection. Caledonia filamentosa, daddy long legs. That's what they call this in Australia. This species occurs from southeast Queensland to Tasmania and across to South Australia. It grows in open forests, has a single, narrow, hairy leaf up to 8 inches long. The inflorescence is up to 18 inches tall with up to 4 flowers, each up to 2 3/4 of an inch long. That feature long, slender, drooping petals and sepals. Flowering occurs from late winter to early summer. And Caledonia tentaculata. These are interesting. This species occurs across southern Australia from Victoria to Western Australia. It grows on heathlands and in open forests in areas with cool, wet winters and hot, dry summers. Its single hairy leaf is about 8 inches long and about 4/5 of an inch broad. The inflorescence is up to 20 inches tall and bears 1 or 2 flowers. Each flower grows to about 4 inches across and have narrow floral parts. Flowering occurs from spring to early summer. Beautiful. Now the last genus that we'll talk about are Diurus. This is an attractive genus of about 50 species, again, all but one occurring in Australia. They grow most often in open forests and grasslands where winter rain dominates the weather pattern. All species are deciduous and die back during the dry summer to a fleshy tuber. This then sprouts after the autumn rains. This genus is easy to cultivate in a standard terrestrial. This is Diurus punctata. The species is widespread from Queensland to New South Wales and Victoria to South Australia. It forms colonies in open forests and moist grasslands. It is tall with 2 grass-like leaves up to 10 inches long. The flowering spike is about 24 inches long and carries up to 10 flowers, each about 2.5 inches across. The flowers are fragrant and appear from spring to early summer. The species is easy to grow and flowers readily.